All right, today we're jumping into one of the most incredible stories from the epic journey to the West. It's a wild tale of mischief, magic, and, well, it all kicks off with one absolutely massive mistake. So this isn't just some random question, right? For our hero, the one and only Monkey King, Sun Wukong, this becomes a very real problem. See, he and his buddies get a little snacky and decide to eat some magical, life-extending fruit. Wukong, being Wukong, gets into an argument, his temper flares up, and what does he do? He completely rips the sacred ginseng fruit tree right out of the ground. Yeah, and to say the owner was just a little upset would be the understatement of the century.
So that's where our story really kicks into high gear. The master of the temple, this incredibly powerful immortal named Zhenyuan, comes home and finds his prized tree totally destroyed. His face is just pure rage, and he knows exactly who to blame: Sun Wukong.
And believe me, this immortal does not mess around. He immediately orders his servants to grab Wukong and beat him with this huge, heavy whip. Now for anyone else, a normal person, even a powerful demon, this would be absolute agony. But we're talking about Sun Wukong here. He's not normal.
And this is where things get kind of crazy. We really see just how unbelievably tough Wukong is. As the whip comes down again and again, Wukong just laughs. He says it just feels like a little scratch. It's just itchy. You can imagine how this goes over. The immortal gets even more furious.
Okay, so the whip didn't work. Time for plan B. The immortal is so mad at this point, he's like, forget the whip. He orders his servants to bring out a gigantic pot of boiling oil. And he's not just planning to fry Wukong. Oh no, he wants to throw his master, Sanzang, and the other companions in there too. And this is where you really see the difference, right? While Wukong is basically shrugging this all off, his companions are absolutely terrified. I mean, their legs are weak with fear. They know this is it for them. It just goes to show you that the Monkey King is on a whole other level. But before they can even manage to shove him into that boiling pot, bang! Wukong just smashes a huge hole right through the side of it with one punch. And then, poof, he's gone. Vanished. It's pretty clear at this point that trying to use brute force on this monkey is not going to work. So Wukong himself gets away no problem. But here's the catch. His master and his friends are still prisoners. And the immortal Zhenyuan, he's not just powerful, he's smart. He knows Wukong's one big weakness isn't a weapon or a spell. It's his loyalty to his master, the monk Tang Sanzang.
So the immortal lays down the law. He shouts out, "Hey, dead monkey, come back here. You're not getting your master back until you pay for my tree." Wukong can run, he can hide, but he can't just abandon his master. He's completely stuck.
And just like that, the deal is on the table. It seems completely impossible, right? How in the world can you bring a dead tree back to life? But Wukong, ever the showman, makes the promise. He swears he'll find a cure for the tree if the immortal frees his master. And so, the quest is on.
Okay, so even the great sage equal to heaven, Sun Wukong, knows when he's out of his depth. Smashing mountains? Easy. Fighting armies of demons? No problem. But resurrecting a divine plant? That's a bit out of his wheelhouse. He knows he's going to need help from someone way, way more powerful. And he knows exactly who to ask.
Wukong's plan is actually pretty simple. Step 1, figure out who could help. That's easy, the Bodhisattva Guanyin. Step 2, get there. He can fly, so he heads straight for the South China Sea. Step 3, and this is the tough one for a guy with an ego like his, he has to shamelessly get on his knees and beg for a solution.
And this is a side of Wukong we rarely get to see. He gets before Guanyin and he just lays it all out. He tells her the whole story, how he messed up, and he pleads with her. "My master is trapped. Please, you have to help me." It's this incredible moment of humility from a character who was famous for his arrogance.
Now, Guanyin, she definitely gives him an earful first. I mean, she scolds him for being so reckless and causing all this trouble. But she is the Bodhisattva of mercy, so of course she agrees to help. She gives him the one thing that can fix this, her Nectar divine water, which is famous for its incredible healing powers.
So with this magical cure in hand, Wukong zooms back to the temple. The immortal is standing there, arms crossed, totally skeptical. Everyone is just watching, not even breathing. Is this actually going to work? Can the Monkey King really perform a miracle like this?
Wukong walks right up to the tree, and it's just this dry, withered stump. It looks completely dead, totally hopeless. But what Guanyin gave him wasn't just a bottle of magic water. She literally gave him the power of resurrection.
See, before he left her island,
Guanyin dipped her finger in the divine water and wrote 4 Chinese characters on his palm. Qi si hui seng. It literally means to bring the dead back to life. This isn't just a cure, it's a command for life to return.
So Wukong puts his hand on the root of the tree, and instantly, the magic happens. The dry wood starts to turn green, new shoots just burst out, and in a flash, the entire tree is back, covered in beautiful, vibrant leaves. But wait, the miracle wasn't even done.
Because this was bigger than anyone thought possible. The tree isn't just alive, it's bearing fruit again. And when the 2 little temple boys, Qingfeng and Mingye, go to count them, they find 23 of those weirdly baby-shaped ginseng fruits hanging from the branches.
And this is where everyone gets a little confused. They're like, wait a minute, huh? We're sure there were only 22 left after Wukong and his friends ate some. So where did this extra one come from?
Well, it turns out the answer is pretty incredible. The divine nectar was so powerful that it didn't just heal the tree, it actually called back a fruit that had been knocked off earlier and was lost in the dirt. It magically brought it right back onto a branch. The restoration wasn't just complete, it was perfect.
So, with the tree back to life, the immortal is happy, and the whole conflict is over. Our heroes are finally free to go. And after all that drama, they can get back on the road and continue their journey to the west.
You know, this story is about so much more than just a magic tree. It's really about Wukong having to face the consequences of his actions. It's a great look at that classic battle between pride and responsibility. It shows us that even the strongest, most powerful beings have to learn humility, and that real strength isn't about never making mistakes, it's about having the guts to fix them.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Sun Wukong's mischief was strong enough to destroy a 10,000-year-old magic tree, but in the end, it was mercy and a willingness to make things right that brought it all back together. Which one do you think is truly stronger? Thanks for diving into this story with me.